It's still spooky season, which means I have time for a Halloween special. Plus, I've always wanted to build scarecrows, so that's the tribe we're going with. And the color combo for this episode is so horrible, so unpleasant, so terrifying that I shudder at the thought of it.
You're scaring me.
We're building Is It? I'm not a big horror guy. I'm actually a giant coward when it comes to that stuff. It definitely didn't help that while growing up, my sister was a big horror buff, so the amount of times that I would turn the corner to see the Ring Girl crawling out of the television, or the Grudge Girl crawling down the stairs, or Pyramid Head literally ripping the skin off of a woman happened more than once, and once is too many times. Fast forward to my 20s, and my friends invited me to a haunted farm situation. There was a hayride, a corn maze, a haunted house, you know the drill. They thought it would be fun. Meanwhile, I'm there like, hey guys, that sounds great, but what if we stayed in and had a horror-free night of playing NBA Hang Time on the N64? So we went to the farm, which had giant spiders lunging out at me, ghosts jump scaring me in the haunted house, and scarecrows chasing me through the corn maze. The last one freaked me out, and my friends told me that I sprinted through the rest of the corn maze so fast the employees were too busy laughing to scare anyone else. And now we're at today. Surely now that I'm a 30-year-old man, that stuff doesn't bother me anymore, right? Yeah, no, here's a clip of me playing Dead by Daylight with my friends 2 days ago.
God.
He got JT!
He's, oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god! Come on. He's running red like Bobby Boucher. Oh my god! Hunter, help!
Nail.
Hunter! Please tell me this door is open!
So yeah, I'm a bit of a wuss, but that won't stop me from facing my fears to make this Halloween special for you guys. So bring on the scarecrows. Hi. Up until recently, if someone wanted to build a scarecrow deck, they were almost certainly playing Reaper King. He's fine, I guess, and thanks to his hybrid mana cost, you can play any combo of colors that you want. You're not required to play Wooburg. But that's too easy, and because I love making things harder for myself, he's out. Duskmourn added 2 new legendary scarecrows, except instead of making at least one of them care about their own tribe, one makes birds and the other likes bugs. So they're out too. Which is why I decided to build Is It, the scariest color.
People are afraid of technology.
Technology!
And because every scarecrow except for one is an artifact, we'll need a commander who can either reward us for playing artifacts or assist us in playing artifacts. And thanks to a new fear being unlocked, I have the perfect choice. My friends Hayden and Mike both have merfolk decks, and they're not scary for the traditional reason. No, they're both scary because they're good. Which means today's commander for our spooky scarecrow deck is Dalikos, Crafter of Wonders. But the wonders he's crafting are actually nightmares. Aww. Because he's not only going to help us play our scarecrows, but also equip them with terrifying murder weapons, make them faster, and fly.
Earthquake test!
He's good. With my help, he could be the best.
Now I won't lie to you, most scarecrows are bad, unplayable, literal trash. But that doesn't matter. If token players can win with a bunch of random 1/1s, then we can find a way to win with a bunch of overcosted artifact creatures. First and foremost, we need to separate the playable scarecrows from the unplayable ones. And out of our 40 options, we're working with a solid 16 that I would consider playable. But that's okay, that's what Dalikos is for. Who cares if the abilities are bad? We can just give them better ones with our equipment.
Oh my god, Morty! Here, come here. Let Grandpa fix you up. What do you want, a robot hand? A lizard hand?
Plus, it's been a while since I brought it up, so I'll remind you of the time-honored tradition of adding shapeshifters to your tribal deck. And some of them could even pass for scarecrows. Kind of. 3-tree mascot looks a bit like a scarecrow, and even has the mana filtering ability other scarecrows have. Barkform Harvester is made of sticks, which is gonna burn just as easily as hay, so they're pretty close. And whoa, look at these guys! They're like magical Norse scarecrows if you squint a little. That last one may not be an artifact, but Dalikos can pay for its equipment the same as any other scarecrow. And Vronos is a planeswalker and can't be a scarecrow, and I know in the lore he's a human, but he's from Innistrad, and bro walked around dressed like a Kaladesh scarecrow before presumably getting his skull caved in by Garruk, so that's close enough for me. If I want you to take away anything from this series, it's that if you're creative enough, you can justify any creature joining any tribe. Goldspan Dragon may not be a pirate, but he likes treasure as much as the next pirate, and probably has always wanted to be one. Halden's best friend is an elemental, so they probably gave him the pass. And Dryad of the Elysian Grove is in my Ur-Dragon deck because it's, really good for 5-color decks. Which is the same logic we're using as to why Foundry Inspector and Enthusiastic Mechanaut are here.
But why do we need him?
This job gets very stressful, Mr. Krabs.
And we're gonna need that cost reduction because, as I mentioned earlier, one of the most terrifying things about scarecrows is their mana value. Oh! We're also going to want to look into some equipment support to help arm our Scarecrows. There are so many equipment spells to choose from. I'm sure you're thinking of some of your favorites right now, but because I'm a sucker for theming, in no particular order, here is my objectively correct 10 spookiest equipment in Magic. Number 1, Chainsaw, classic horror movie weapon. Number 2, Chitinous Cloak, bugs are gross and scary. Number 3, Dissection Tools. If someone shows up to a fight with dissection tools, run. Number 4, Ghostfire Blade. What's scarier than a weapon? A weapon you can't fucking see. Number 5, Haunted Cloak. Ah, a ghost! Number 6, Haunted Plate Mail. Ah, another ghost! Number 7, Prize Shield. I don't like his face. It's creepy. Number 8, Spectre Shroud. Ah, a third ghost. Number 9, Witch's Eye. My friend Hunter was reading his 4-year-old son a bedtime story and they heard a noise coming from outside. His son then asked, "Is that a witch?" To which Hunter replied, "I fucking hope not. And now I have to walk through life wondering if witches are real because where the hell did he even get that from? I don't need that extra stress." And number 10, Sword of the Animus, because nothing is more terrifying than an Is It player ramping. Because we've got 2 extra steps to make our creatures more threatening with playing the equipment and then actually equipping the equipment, we're going to need to stall for time. One of the ways we can do that is with indestructible shenanigans. With Stuffy Doll, who could pass for a little Scarecrow, or the target of Vronos' ult, combined with Pariah's shield, we have a damage spun who can soak up attacks until we can get the board state we want.
Resonance! Let's play a game of chicken.
And the spookier way to stall for time is to take advantage of the colors we're using and play counter spells.
What? That's the evilest thing I can imagine!
Aside from swinging out with our equipped Scarecrows, I did want to mention another possible win con I've always wanted to pull off. Mechanized Production wins you the game if you control 8 or more copies of the enchanted artifact on your upkeep. We can do this one of 2 ways, the first of which allows us to slowly marinate our plans with a sense of dread taking over the pod as we create more and more Scarecrow clones. It's unlikely we'll have the mana and the cards to make 8 copies on one turn, so with 1 Scarecrow, Mechanized Production, and any combination of these cards, we can slowly build up to our victory as our opponents desperately try to stop us from creating our Scarecrow horde.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
The sequencing doesn't really matter, so long as you have all 8 copies alive at the beginning of your upkeep. The second way is kind of like a cheap jump scare where you just cast Masterful Replication while the Mechanized Production trigger is on the stack. Boom. So there we go. A spooky deck that can win through an army of well-armed Scarecrows or with a bunch of clones of a single Scarecrow. I hope you have a happy Halloween, everybody. As for me, I'll be stocking up on what I need to defend myself from witches because a 4-year-old made me believe they might be real and now I'm too scared to go to sleep.